Hello, nerds. Thank you for watching Generally Nerdy. This is your Week in Nerdom TV edition for the week of September 17th, 2018. We are talking real quick about some stuff and things in television, guys. Like I said in yesterday's video, the things are just going really quick because I don't have the time to edit the full videos, even though music was probably a full video. TV is going to be a short one for sure, and movies is probably going to be approximately regular length, and then gaming and comics are going to be combined into one video this week, again, because I have a lot of other things that I'm finishing up on editing, like jobs for clients and the vlogs that I feel like I do better on than this anyway. But that's a little TMI, and this is an intro.
Quiet on the set, rolling.
Hi, I am Bitsie Tulloch.
Hey, I'm Hale Appleman.
I'm Walter Kane.
I'm Rene Aubergenois. Odo on Deep Space Nine.
Michael Dorn, Lieutenant Commander Worf, Star Trek The Next Generation.
Come and see me and hear me and talk to me and listen to me talk about myself.
Hey man, this is Kevin Smith, often considered generally nerdy, and you are listening to what is often considered generally nerdy.
On Generally Nerdy.
You're listening to
Generally Nerdy.
Generally Nerdy.
Generally Nerdy.
Okay, guys, 3 things that we're updating this week for TV, and then we're out. Real quick, things for television. Swamp Thing is going to go for a hard R rating, even though it's not a movie. If that makes any sense. I feel like what they mean by this, and it's an announcement from writer Gary Dauberman, who we're going to be talking a little bit more about in the movies video tomorrow, so come back for that one. But he said that they're treating it like it's a hard R if it were a movie. So it's going to be borrowing liberally from the Alan Moore run, which revitalized the series, which hopefully means very good things for this series. Alan Moore revitalized the comic book series. They're not the original television series, because that was a little weird. But so yeah, hopefully they're borrowing all of the right elements and ignoring all of the things that are going to confuse their mission. This potentially could be a really good thing, or it could potentially just be an excuse for them to drop F-bombs all over the place for no apparent reason. Still, the jury's still out on the DC Universe app as far as... Well, I take it back. It's worth it just for all of the back issues, but as far as their original programming, being as what we've seen from Titans so far has been less than stellar, and this is their other big flagship original, hopefully this one's really good, so that they can continue making more quality programming and then fix that train wreck that Titans is becoming. Speaking of Titans, we got video this week that puts Jason Todd and Dick Grayson on the screen together. So we kind of postulated that we were going to see Jason Todd, but we just didn't know to what degree. When we got the leak, I don't know if it was a leak. It was an announcement of the titles of about 5-6 of the episodes. And one of them said something about the Red Hood. So the speculation was, well, are we going to see 2 Robins? And the answer is kind of. It looks like, judging from the real quick back and forth we got from them, it looks like Dick Grayson is post-Batman. He's no longer the ward of Batman, but he's not quite Nightwing. So he's still wearing a Robin suit, as we've seen in all of the artwork, but he's not Batman's sidekick. He's Robin gone rogue, effectively. And we get to see Jason Todd, who seems a little too bubbly, a little too all about it. The attitude that he has when talking to Grayson in that real quick little bit that we got to. It was like 45 seconds, I think, was the little teaser they gave us. The attitude seems off. Jason Todd is grim and stoic and not like, awesome, I get to drive the Batmobile. Like, it's just weird. It's just weird. And with the costuming choice that they gave to Starfire, and with the age difference between Beast Boy and Raven, and then the whole Batman situation from San Diego Comic-Con, there's just a lot going against this show right now, and this is not helping. So that's the boat we're in for Titans. Hopefully they get it right. You can see the little clip that I'm talking about if you follow the link in the description. And we're kicking on to our last bit of TV news this week. We are talking about the Arrowverse crossover once again. This time it's also a casting announcement, but it's an interesting casting announcement. I was trying to avoid casting announcements this week because, like I said, I'm trying to keep them short and succinct, right? So I wasn't going to do casting stuff until I saw who they had cast. And it's 2 casting announcements. The first of which is interesting because usually you don't get this character before the other half of this character. And who I'm talking about is Victor Fries. Not really Victor, but his wife, Nora. We're getting Nora Fries first. As Nora Fries, the cast, it's Cassandra Jean Amell. I'm assuming that's Stephen Amell's wife, or his brother's wife, something along those lines. And just an interest, they're playing with all of these Batman villains and all of these Batman adjacent characters, and the other announcement is a Superman character who is Lois Lane. We'll just get it out of the way right now. Lois Lane is going to be played by Bitsie Tulloch, or Elizabeth Tulloch, if you're going by the weird way the media is talking about her now. She calls herself Bitsie. She was credited as Bitsie in Grimm, and now all of a sudden everyone's using her proper first name. It's very strange, but whatever. Anyway, back to Nora Fries. It's not like pre-Victor Nora Fries, because she has the last name Fries. So it's just really interesting. Are they going to bring the Mr. Fries into the Arrowverse somehow? Are they setting up Batwoman? That would be really interesting if that's the way it's going. But I don't know that for certain. It was kind of vague because it's part of the 3-night crossover event, right? So Arrow, Flash, not the Legends of Tomorrow, and Supergirl was the other show. So those 3 shows, the starting December 9th, and then it'll be on December 10th and 11th, will be the 3-night trilogy. We're going to be introduced to, we've already talked about Cassandra Cain, aka Batwoman. We are also going to be introduced to Nora Fries somehow. It sounded like from a couple of the sources, they kind of mentioned that it was going to be a small part, so it was just going to be a passing reference. She would be on screen for less than a minute, something along those lines. But still, they're planting those seeds. If they're planting them for the Batwoman series, that is very likely, if not 100% already going to happen, then that I feel like I can get behind. But it's very strange if that's not the way they're going, because Freeze is very much a Gotham character. And not Gotham, the show we won't talk about anymore, but Gotham, the actual city that exists in comic books, so it's not an actual city. But then the other half of this announcement was, again, Bitsie Tulloch is going to be playing Tulloch. I can't remember how she said to pronounce her name. Sorry, whatever, don't hang me in the comments. We're getting Lois Lane, so is that implying that we're going to also have Superman a part of this big 3-night crossover deal? That could also be incredibly interesting, but if we have all of these characters, again, that are really Batman adjacent. Superman obviously is technically a bigger name, I believe, because he's 15 years older, 5 years older. But still, like, it just feels like they need to put Batman into this universe. Even if it's not I don't know how the licensing is working with this, because we have a Superman, we have a Flash, and those two exist in the movie universe. We had an Aquaman for a second with Smallville, and he exists in the movie universe. We also had a Cyborg for a second in Smallville, and he exists in the movie universe. The only character that we don't have on television that is everywhere else is Batman, and it doesn't make sense. I don't know what is going on with the licensing for this, but they are doing their damnedest to dance around Batman. Maybe they're holding out some giant surprise and we're going to get a proper Batman as well. I'm not holding my breath for that one, because that seems like a giant long shot that we wouldn't have something have leaked out by now. So, I just don't know. It's going to be a thing to watch. It's going to be, by all accounts, it's going to be very much worth the watch on the night it airs. I'm going to try and see if I can get that done, but not super likely, so we might not talk about it until about a week or two after. But if something huge like Batman happens, we're definitely going to be talking about it the following week in Nerdom. So just keep checking. And as we get closer to the event, too, more things are going to be announced, more things are going to be leaked, and we will talk about all of them as they happen. But that's the end of the video today, guys. Thank you very, very much for watching all the way to the end. What did I miss? What should we talk about next week? Let me know in the comments down low. If, though, you want to go deeper into the conversation, jump over to the website, generallynerdy.net. That is the place that you can go find all the freebies, which right now is mostly just links to the social media and the nerdy stores. There are 3 nerdy stores for you to go get your nerdy swag. You can find all of that stuff over on generallynerdy.net. Again, that is the website. If you would rather support a little more directly, then there is a Patreon page, patreon.com/generallynerdy. That is where you can go become a member of the community. You can, and the lowest tier is just $1. When I do multiple, when I'm on my game, you get about twice the content. There's a book up there that you can get if you're on the higher tiers. There's also chapters from the next thing that I'm writing, and all of that stuff is up on the Patreon page, patreon.com/generallynerdy. Go check that out. If you are new to the channel, click the subscribe button. If you like this episode, click the like button. If you are falling behind in your nerd news and you want to catch up, click or tap that box right there to the left of my face to do that. If you're listening on the audio version of this show, then you should be able to find everything else because you found the audio. But that being said, guys, before we go click buttons and find audio, then always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.